This training, unlike other training program, we may not be dealing with the resource persons. Here, those who are coming and going to talk, all are agri startups. Those who are working with farmers and those who are working with other stakeholders, they are coming and they are going to talk about how they are really supporting farming in different ways. There may be technology transfer, or there may be something like value chain management, or something like processing or value addition or branding or marketing like that. Everybody will talk different, including agriculture and allied sector also, and fisheries and livestock sector startups also. They are going to come and talk, and that's why, and all the officers and kindly understand, they are not the resource person, not the faculty or scientists, but this training program something different. They are all are startup initiators. That's why whenever you put some questions, other things, kindly see that you are putting very relevant question to that particular startups. They are startups and going to come and talk about their own experience. And maybe many of the senior officers are here, ADAs and others are the scientists and researchers are there. You might be having different experience, even better experience, but many of our startups, they will come and very specific to their own experience with how they are doing startup, how they are supporting farmers like that. Kindly keep in that mind. And for understanding their models, it is better to put the questions instead of asking about some technologies or more. It is not really needed. With this introduction, I will start a little more about why this training program. And as you know, farming always in India, it is one of the important profession. At the same time, it is many time at crossroads. And always there is, every year we will see something crisis in agriculture. Even last few years, or all the time, even though agriculture, even during this COVID times, doing good, but still many parts of the country, it is not uniform agriculture because of climate, other condition and market. Last few years we see, it is not the technology. Market determines the prosperity of agriculture or farmers. That's why farming always, it is something, it's a very difficult profession in India, and large number of small and marginal farmers. Another important issue, everybody you are aware, 86% of them are small and marginal farmers. That makes our job become very difficult for agriculture research officers, researchers, or the extension professionals to reach this large number of small and marginal farmers, and to be more relevant to them, whatever we advocate, whatever schemes or whatever research outputs are coming, it's very difficult to reach them. 86% of them marginal and small farmers. And but at the same time, half of the India's population, still it is depending upon agriculture. It is, even though the GDP is coming down, but continuously agriculture is engaging more and more population. And at the same time, another area, wherever there is a market gluts, and we are used to see, these are all the common features in India. It's a crisis all the time. Whenever there is no rainfall, we'll tell there is no crop, and wherever there is more crop, and we will see in the something roads, people are throwing in whether onion or milk, or it is tomato. It is very often we see in the newspapers or papers. That means we are unable to give better support services to the farmers for putting post-harvest technologies, other things. This is a common, every extension officers will be knowing. There is a country like India, we have great diversity. And another important thing is agriculture, even though it is very important for the large number of households, but the average income is only, it is almost it is equal to 9,000 rupees. It is 26 states. There is a survey from NABARD. It says it is 8,900 rupees the average income of the farm households, putting all the farmers together. With the 9,000 rupees, farmer need to take care of everything, farm household, everything, their education, this one. Even many cities and many places, if you see, the watchman will be getting the more salary than this one. That's why this is a very low income farmers, and that's why Government of India and others talk about doubling the farmers' income or increasing the. It is not only farm productivity. Today we will talk about increasing the farm income, and apart from that, there are large number of productivity challenges. Apart from post-harvest and marketing challenges, we also have a lot of productivity challenges, and that's why today is not only technology or it is a knowledge advisory. Along with that, other support services, something like processing or value addition or branding, or putting the smart technology to the farming so that labor shortage, others will be minimized like that. Not only along with agriculture research and extension, we need to have the large number of other support services. But Majority of the research finding, other things it says, even agriculture extension not able to reach, organized agriculture extension not able to reach more than 10% of the farmers. And even though we are having great network of Krishi Vigyan Kendras and large number of agriculture developmental departments are working, Atma like central sector schemes we are working for the agriculture extension. But always survey shows that it is very hardly, it's 10 to 15% of the farmers are reached by there is a main public extension system. There are large number of private players are coming and NGOs are last almost 2 decades, NGOs others. And now recent addition is large number of entrepreneurs and or we call it as agripreneurs or agri startups are making a lot of news in across the country. There are coming large number of way to support in these areas, knowledge and support services in the agriculture. That is the today's and coming 3 days, how they are going to supporting, how they are working with the farmers, we are going to see. That's why whole agriculture extension, what generally we talk about, it's a technology transfer. Now it is changing. It is not the technology transfer. It is creating something like capacity of the farmers. We need to strengthen the capacity of farmers. Generally, information technologies all, even today, extension means it is a technology transfer, but it is not alone. It is not only technology transfer or information or knowledge dissemination. It need to go little more, and it is something strengthening the capacity of the farmers along with create the better skills and capacity to innovate. Farmers need to innovate. Other innovators need to join with the farmers if farmer is not innovating. These all things we can do from training or improved management or organizational techniques, and other one is linkages with the large number of producer organization or NGOs or public private sector, something like agri startups or agripreneurs or private agribusiness companies, how we can link these actors with the farming. That is a very important. Today's agricultural extension, those who are working in the agriculture developmental department, it is not necessarily to talk about the technologies to the farmers. During 1970s, 60s, 70s, 80s, we are talking about only technologies. But today, talking about agricultural technology transfer, technologies to the farmers are central state government schemes. They also need to talk about something like how we can link the producer organizations or NGOs or other players, those who are private players like agribusiness companies or agri startups, how we can link with the farmers or farmer producer organizations. That is the important thing. Even our doubling farmers income committee defines entirely agriculture. It is beyond information or knowledge dissemination. They're talking about agriculture supply chain. Agriculture extension need to concentrate on agricultural supply chain. And it is not only for earlier, we are emphasizing more on production oriented, and today we are talking about how the net income from the enterprise farmers, it is not the farming anymore traditional, it is how we can make us an enterprise and how we can increase the income like that we are talking. That is the extension. That's why it is today's extension is not merely technology transfer or talking about the schemes of the state or central governments or much more beyond, talking about entire supply chain and also making the farming as an enterprise, so that farmer can get the better income. That may not possible from only one or two institutions or public sector institutions. That's why we need to link with a large number of other stakeholders, like farmer producer organizations or those who are providing credit and those type of things. That's why agriculture extension, it is no more relevant today if you talk only technology transfer. I am sure already there are many of the agriculture developmental officers, those who are attending this training, I'm sure they are doing much more work. Somebody mobilizing the farmers, they are making the groups, self-help groups or farmers producer organization, trying to link that producer organization with the different other actors like market or it is a finance or technology or research institutions like that. Already they might be doing it. And that's why today the agriculture extension is something much beyond the technology transfer. Now, today most of you are in the field condition. Apart from technology transfer, what are the roles you expect? What are the roles you are doing? Which are the roles are important you see for the agriculture extension? Quickly you can put in your opinion in the chat box. I'm telling agriculture extension is not no more, it is technology transfer alone. It is something much more, and we need to do little more. And based on your experience, what are the roles you feel that is important for extension? Today's context, what are the roles you are seeing for the agriculture extension? Okay, very good. Somebody, Dr. Suveda is written, major role is change the farmer's attitude, and okay, Manasa is create the awareness about organic farming, also agriculture extension, very good. It's more of experience sharing, successful case of farmer to role model. It is not only from research institutions, maybe some of the farmers are very progressive. We need to take those progressive or those farmers models to other farmers, very good. It's a capacity building. Always there is a capacity building of farmers. That was I told. It's a capacity building of the farmer to innovate themselves, create the farm awareness about farm business. It is Dr. Suryendra Chaitra is improve the standard of living of farmers need-based approach. Overall, we need to improve the standard of living. That means we need to see the holistic as a farm family, as a extension organizations. Fine. Giving the better market intelligence or market forecasting for the increasing the farm income. Fine. More awareness on marketing and also processing. Fine. Jalia. Indicate entrepreneurial behavior among the farmers. Understanding indigenous technical knowledge is important. Okay, it is a main role of extension is farmer should not work as a only farmer. He need to think like a businessman. Very good. And what is investing and what is getting, that is important. Dr. Puspa is written identifying the innovative farmers and showing them as a model farmers. Thank you, madam. Any others? And market-led extension is important, and we need to give the confidence to the farmers to diversify the crops and cropping pattern, and doubling the farmer's income, maybe adding the livestock and farming system, maybe improves the soil health, other things. We need to do those things. Any other thing? You also agree with that? Agriculture extension, not it is only technology transfer, much more than it is having something like value addition, processing or marketing, and that is more important. And still some more are coming, and we will combine a little more. That's why today, if you see large number of agri startups are coming. And anyway, you are attending this training. There is one document available in Manage website. We may not be able to go for what is agri startup or basic things, and you can go for this document, Agri Startups, the Array of Hope in Indian Agriculture. Here we will give all the basic details about what is agri startup, who are the people are in India, they are talking about agri startups like that. And somebody interested, you can see the bottom link. And that's why today, if you see, many of you also clearly told agriculture, it should move towards something like business. And that's why today, if you see across the country, last 10 years, there is an entrepreneurship and agri startup ecosystem is emerging. There is new set of players are coming. During 90s or 2000, we didn't see large number of startups in agriculture. Agribusiness they are doing, most of them are traditionally they are doing. But today there are large number of innovative ideas they are coming, they are doing in agriculture. And many of you might be aware about agri startups, and some of you might be working with agri startups, or you might be read in the newspapers, or you might be studying in the or viewing in videos or TV, something like that. Today, many people talk about agri startups, especially startups in the all the sectors and also including in agriculture. There are large number of things. Today, that's why these startups are promoted by large number of agriculture universities, research institutions, and there are a lot of co-working places. There are incubation centers, innovation incubation centers. Like that, there are large number of institutions, national institutions and others, even private players, or they are started. Even many of them, there are new set of people for funding these type of startups, like angel investors, startup mentors, startup advisor, like that. There are large number of people. And there are new set of people are emerging to promote this type of startups, including agriculture startups. If globally, if you see large number of startups, they are moving in the financial technology, how to facilitate the money to others based on the technology. Financial fintech startups are going the big way. How to give the, no, even agriculture, if you see the lending money, getting the credit support for the farming is very important. Traditionally, farmers are getting the money lenders, and very few of them they will get from the bank loans and others, but majority go for the money lenders, others. These type of startups, even agriculture, much more useful. And also, apart from financial technology related startups, there are life sciences, healthcare, artificial intelligence, and like that blockchain based, like that large number of startups are coming in globally. And also, if you see entire startups, it is the large number of startups are something like marketplace or health technology, education technology, like that is coming. And many of these startups are using something data analytics, big data, or Internet of Things, or artificial intelligence or blockchain, like that advanced technology they are using. When these technology, if they are taking to agriculture, there may be much more useful, and agriculture become more and more smarter. It may help large number of extension officers or farmers. There is belief in that, and large number of startups are coming. Even if you see across the country, large number of cities and others, they started innovation incubation centers. It is emerging in the big way across the country. All even there are small cities also they are trying to host. There are efforts for the rural incubation centers also. It is coming. And large number of government schemes also it is happening. Something like Startup India scheme and Adult Incubation Mission. There is a DST, Department of Biotechnology, Department of Science and Technology. All they are making large number of support for these type of startups, including Ministry of Agriculture and Farmers Welfare, RKV Raptar program also. And if India alone, if you see today, we have 1,000 plus agri startups. Up to 2020, we had only 450 agri startups in India, but today we are having 1,000 plus agri startups in India. And these all startups are trying to work with large number of other farm stakeholders, including the research or extension or farmers, like that. All the stakeholders, they are trying to participate. Some of you, if you are already working with agri startups, any very specific agri startup working with the farmers or any other related farming issues, and you can put it your name, because I see the participants from across the country. There are different states, majority of them working with the farmers. There are offices from agriculture and allied departments. And if some of you know very well associated or you are aware about some startups, and you can quickly put in the chat box. Do you have prior experience working with the startups? Very simple question. Just you need to put yes or no. Once you are clicking, it goes outside, and just you can put yes or no like that. How many of them fold Kaushik? Better to start learning and using the online tools. Slowly we'll make it, our trainings are more interactive. That's why we are trying to use very basic minimum some of the interactions we will use. Okay, fine. We are at least half of them are tried to attempt and they are making, and thank you very much. And it is almost, it is 59, 60 of them, 60, it is half of them we done, and maybe some others are doing. And it is interesting that 70% of them don't have the experience working with startups. So today we are having 1,000 plus agri startups, and it seems that more than almost only 1/3 of them are having experience, and 3/4 of them, 75% not having experience. Maybe this training and those who are startups may be very interesting for you. I will talk about something. This entire training talks about agri startups or agri entrepreneurs, how really they are doing agriculture extension. And manage, we are doing last 2 decades this type of work. Many of you are aware Agri-Clinics, Agri-Business Center scheme. Here, agriculture graduates were trained. It is earlier 60 days, now it is a 45 days training program. Across the country, large number of NGOs and nodal training institute, few agriculture universities, they are training our agriculture graduates. And so far we trained more than 72,000 of them. Out of them, there are 30,000 of them, they reported back that they established some model ventures. Here, they establish the model ventures, and they will provide the agriculture consultancy and farm support services to the farmers. And it is any area, it may be something like agri advisory, Agri-Clinics, Agri-Business Centers. They will be having something bio input units or vermicompost or mushroom model unit. They make this a business enterprise extension with entrepreneurship. They also need to earn for their own livelihood, and also they will give the employment to others, and they work based on the opportunities existing in their own district or state. They used to do in different area. For example, animal feed unit or agro-tourism unit, or fishery veterinary clinics, or something like seed processing, marketing, or vegetable production, or fisheries development, or somebody maintaining rural godowns, or somebody on contract farming, somebody on the floriculture or horticulture, or somebody on landscaping. Like that, this variety of jobs they will take it up. But they are entrepreneurs, agripreneurs, and they will do agriculture extension along with, they also do the business with the farmers. That is the idea. And these type of large number of innovators, they innovate locally useful, some machineries and other things they used to innovate, and they work with, they will make the business, and they do the agricultural extension using the bus, other things, even remote parts of the Jharkhand, or it is Andhra Pradesh, or wherever they are using large number of these type of innovative things. And similarly, they use the ICT tools. This type of large number of, some of them are innovative breeders. They come out with the new breeds and they will do the business with developing those type of seeds like that. And some of them work with large number of animal husbandry. There are conservation and vaccination related to animal husbandry. They work all the services in the livestock sector. These are agripreneurs. These like a large number of stories. There are 350 stories are available across the country. There are more than 30,000. We given only 350 stories, but large number of database and those people, which are the areas doing it is available, and they are successful doing in extension with enterprise. They are doing this type of large number of entrepreneurs are there. And these stories you can see. We are not going to talk about much about agripreneurs, how they are doing agricultural extension. Many of them even work with Jharkhand and other states. Maharashtra, they work with the public sector departments also. They used to give consultancy. Along with that, they will provide the job opportunities like this. This all entire information, publications, whatever I am showing, it is available in online. Some of you interested, you can go through. Very interesting models. It is not simply, it's agri-business models. These are models with the extension. They will do agriculture extension service. They are having the great scope to collaborate with the public extension departments. And apart from that, we also rural women, and they will develop the agri enterprises, whether it is a Mawal in Maharashtra or UP in Amedi or Telangana, like that. Along with the training, they also have the some enterprises or units they will start. And apart from that, Manage as the Manage Center for Innovation and Agripreneurship. And here we'll promote large number of startups and all the areas, anything it bothers agriculture, whether it's agri input or ICTs or warehouse management or post-harvest technology. In all the areas, we are having the startups. We support the startups, especially farmer service center, somebody are interested doing. There we'll give the special focus also. And we try to provide advisory and technical mentoring, capacity building, all the support services. And we run different type of programs, like something like anybody can enroll with us for getting the support. There are all areas, agriculture, fisheries, and all the areas will support. And we also search for the innovations across the country. We'll be like Krishi Vikas, like that. We'll search innovation and we'll try to mentor large number of agri startups. There are mentoring program also across the country. Anybody can join with us so that we can put the correct mentors for the developing enterprises. Even internship, they can go with our own mentors. We have Impulse program, agribusiness mentoring program also. And apart from that, we run something like Rashtriya Krishi Vikas Yojana. Here across the country, there are 29 centers. This program, Ministry of Agriculture and Farmers Welfare is running. And if you see, there are 5 knowledge partners: Indian Council of Agriculture Research, Indian Agriculture Research Institute, IRI New Delhi, and Manage and NIAM, Rajasthan, US, Dharwad, and AU. These are 5 knowledge partners, and the Manage takes care of southern part of the country. And across the country, startups can apply, but we handhold there are 4 different other RKY Raptar incubation centers. There are 24 other centers. Apart from these 5 knowledge partners, there are another 24 centers across the country. At least every state, there is one RKY Raptar incubation centers. These all centers are running 2 programs, and one is for agripreneurship orientation program. Anybody having innovative idea to support the farming, and they can participate this program, and they can get up to 5 lakh grants to ground their ideas. And also they will get something 60 hours of classroom training and mentoring by the experts. This program is continuously running in all 29 centers across the country. During 2 months training period, they also get 10,000 rupees stipend for their training program. And they also given internship with the other startups. Similarly, we run another program. There is a startup agribusiness incubation program. Here, anybody doing very innovative idea and it is supporting the farming and farmers, and they can go for the startup agribusiness incubation program. There, they will get something like 25 lakhs rupees for scaling up or doing better research or expanding their market. They will get the 25 lakhs. This is also across the country run by 29 centers. Even currently managed, there is advertisement is open. Any innovators, there is no criteria, only innovation is the criteria, even including rural youth, women, farmers, or any graduates from any institutions, anybody can apply. There is no criteria to apply only. They need to have the innovative idea for applying for 5 lakh category. For 25 lakh category, the startup agribusiness incubation program, they need to have working model. Already they are working in the farm and they are making the business out of some innovative idea. to expand that idea, they can apply. Even today, it is the advertisement is open at Manage website. Some of farmers or any youth, anybody entrepreneurs, those who are having innovative idea already working, they can apply for this program. Or somebody students, others are attending this program. Those who are having innovative idea, they can try for this 5 lakhs program. And these two programs across the country we are running. And through these programs, there are large number of agri startups are coming. And these all startups, they try to support the farming. Something like artificial intelligence based detecting the pest, simple mouse click they can get, or somebody working on landscaping or translocating the plants in the scientific way, and somebody for social media like applications, somebody like Cultivate from Tamil Nadu. Entire traceability along with advisory, entire traceability it provides. Like that, there are all things, whether it is maintaining the database or providing the extension support, or it is supporting the field officers or supporting the input management or supply chain, like that. All the agricultural operations, they will help in this type of startup. There is a Cultivate startup from Tamil Nadu. Like that, there are large number of startups. There is another startup, Karnataka. They work with large number of farmer producer organizations, and they will try to provide the better support for the inputs and also marketing along with advisory. And like this, we are having large number of other organic input related and millet related startups. Here they work with millet farmers, and also they provide all the processing other facilities also. This type of startups we are having. And there are some of the startups work, they used to apply advanced technologies for the irrigation management, so that they can put the correct irrigation to plants, they can schedule appropriately. These type of startups are helping to make the precision agriculture and resources, natural resources, whatever available, we can save and precisely we can use. Like there is a Kisan Raja, like that. It is for Internet of Things. They are using for smart irrigation, automatic irrigation it makes. And whenever there is a power automatically on, automatically it will off. And there is a power fluctuation also, it takes care of those. There is a pump controller, other things also. And water also, it is scheduled. It is irrigation will be scheduled based on the soil moisture and other atmospheric relative humidity, other things. It irrigates the plants. Depending upon the plant, accurately it will irrigate, so that water wastage will be stopped. These type of startups are coming big way. It is not only giving technology, advanced technology to the farming to minimize the wastage of the resources, and they can use better resources, and they can maintain the whatever the things they are using in the available resources, like this. These type of startups are coming. And apart from that, there are some startups providing the critical input for rain-fed area. There is a water is a critical input. It is that's why extension, it is not something only technology, but taking the technology to the farmers and supporting all other things, including, you can see the dryland area water. There is AgriRain, there is a startup. They provide the critical irrigation to the rain-fed crops, and these type of startups are coming in the big way. And during the critical stages, they can get the irrigation, and they are also creating the water entrepreneurs in the rural areas. This is also one of our RKV Raptar funded startup. Similarly, you can see regularly mushroom, they are doing some of these type of startups. There is something like value added mushrooms and medicine related, and they are trying to add value, and they are trying to make it, and also they are trying to connect with large number of farmers. This type of Dr. mushrooms, like that, there is a startup. And similarly, there is a mechanization, small farm gold mechanization, like that. There's a sprayer, other thing, or hydroponic units. There is other startup. And these type of startups are coming, so that farmers can use low-cost technologies for their operations. Farm operation become more and more efficient. For that, they are making these type of things. Apart from that, we also do in fisheries, and we develop large number of Aqua One centers across the country. They are trying to provide, along with input, other support, all the support services for the fisheries. There is a Aqua One clinics, Aqua One centers, like that across the country. There is 10 states we established 20 centers, and they also, anyway, one of the Aqua One centers going to talk how innovatively they are supporting this type of large number of managed hosting. There are 300 startups to support, along with agri advisory and also other support services they are providing. All the information available at our website, and some of you interested, you can know. There are 10, 12 of startups, they are going to come and talk, but they are only representative of the, our 300 startups. There are across the country, 1,000 plus agri startups are working in this area. But we also having 300 startups we are managed hosting, and we are incubating. Out of that, very selected, because due to 3 days and time constraint, we are bringing only 10 to 12 startups, and they will share their experiences and how they are supporting the farming and also farmers, how they are making agriculture become more efficient, how they are making supply chains become more and more efficient. They will talk about that, and also some of them they will talk about something, how they are making smart technologies work in agriculture. That also you can see. But these all startups are available. If you are anybody interested, you can go for our website, caa.manage.gov. In there, if you are going startups, and you can find large number of startups like this. There are all the startups across the country. We are having startups almost in 25 states. And anybody, if you are interested, you can take the mouse here, and automatically it shows all these websites and their contact details, and you can reach them. Among these 300 agri startups, few of them they will come to you, and they are sharing their experiences. This already I said, this document also, it is useful, you can go for it, because these startups are having great potential to partnership with large number of developmental departments, like all our Department of Agriculture, Horticulture, Fisheries, like that. That's why they need a lot of support, and we can easily partnership with these type of startups. It will provide the win-win situation. That's why we start up introducing this startup, because public extension alone may not be able to reach large number of farmers. And also we are unable to provide everything to the farmers, like something like processing, value addition, and marketing. Farmer is, it's always as the constrained with resources. Large number of small and marginal farmers, they have a lot of resource constraint. And many times somebody also wrote, they need to work like a businessman. He need to know about everything, business, marketing, branding. But it is very difficult. Farmers are many times they are expert in doing their own farming, but doing all other things, it needs a lot of support, other organization support also. That's why these agri startups, agripreneurs may be better partners, and to maximize the farm income. And that is a word of caution. And these agri startups should not work as a middleman. Others earlier over the years, we are seeing only taking the profit. They are prospering big way, but they need to see as a partners for entire agriculture development. They need to support the farmers and farming, and they need to make the farming become more profitable. And those type of startups we can identify, we can encourage, and their government departments or the schemes and programs better to connect with these type of startups. We need to support them so that they can support the entire farming activities. And with this, I will stop, and you will be getting number of startups. They will be discussing and how they are working, how they are making the agriculture become more and more prosperous. We can discuss. We have more than 1,000+ startups. Some of the startups in India, they work with millions of farmers, like 500,000 farmers. Agrostar or DHeart, they are working almost close to more than 5 lakh farmers or 10 lakh farmers, like that. They are growing. It is not necessarily they need to work with large farmers. We need to see large number of small startups working in the limited area, and they are supporting the farmers, because our agriculture is everywhere. It's very diverse, and they can large number of thousands and thousands of startups we can promote. They can support the farmers with other support services, which is farmers unable to get, like financial support or processing, value addition, branding, somebody marketing or taking their produce, like that. They can do it. And these type of startups are coming in the big way, because across the country, large number of incubation centers or innovation centers are promoted by Government of India, and other actors are helping in the big way. Somebody asked, what is the success rate of agri startup in India? I don't think so. We are calculating something agri startups success rate, but generally they will tell many of the startups, they will start and they will disappear like that. But it is depends on the situation, context, and what type of startup they are starting, and also how startup really they are having the perseverance. For example, RKY Raptar, we are promoting across the country, some 1,000 startups every year we are training. For example, there are 29 centers. We can keep it roughly 30 RKY Raptar incubation centers. Every year they are training at least 120 of them. 3,600 people we are training across the country. And we are talking about what are the opportunities, how they can make, and who are the agri startups, like that. Out of these startups, there may be something 1/3 of them, they will be getting the funding actually. At least, for example, Manage trains every year something like 120 startups, And out of 120 startups, at least 40 startups, surely they will be getting the funding based on their competence, based on their merit, they will get the funding. At least 40 of them getting, that means 1/3 of them getting the funding, 33% of them getting the funding from one source, Government of India alone, Ministry of Agriculture alone. Apart from that, there are large number of other organizations, institutions, and even including NABARD, DST, DBT, many of them they are funding. And also there are a lot of other people, there are private players, somebody shows really there is a business opportunities. There are large number of people are willing to fund. Many of them want to partner with these type of startups. They are bringing their money, they are trying to invest. That's why a lot of opportunities, and it is not to worry about success rate, and better to encourage the agri startups, because maybe India agri startups have the great potential. If really they address the problem of the farmers, they have the great potential. If some startups are not really working well, it's not necessarily because of no support. The idea may not really working for the farmers. If really they discuss with the farmers, they are working for the farmers' common problem, then surely the agri startup will survive. They will get the support from a large number of players, like all the public sector, private sector, many of them trying to help these type of agri startups. And that's why it is a time today everybody talks about agri startups. The Government of India's many of the schemes and all the programs, it gives a lot of importance for the agri startups. They are supporting in the big way. That's why it is a time for agripreneurs or agri startups. They can work and they can do a better job in the agriculture. That's what somebody asked Virendra Patel. He is asking how students can start the agri startups. That's what I am talking about, this RKV Raptar program. Anybody can come with the idea. If idea is innovative and it is selected, they will be given 2 months mentorship. And once after the mentorship, they will be evaluated. The idea is shaped up, and they can go. They can get the 5 lakh grants. Grant means it is not the loan. They no need to repay at all. They will get the grants, and they can, from that 5 lakhs grants, they can ground their ideas and they can work for their idea. After 2 years, if they are successful, again they can come back for 25 lakhs grants also. Otherwise, they can go for other places. All the students and everybody is getting the grants in the RKV Raptar program, other program also. Some more questions. Yeah, there are a large number of horticulture related startups also. We will talk about horticulture related startup. For example, we have one startup and he works on good horticulture practices in only in mango crop he is working. And similarly, large number of horticulture nursery related startups, other thing. Even Indian Institute of Horticulture, they host large number of horticulture related startups also. There are even processing, other related large number of horticulture startups. For example, Kerala Agriculture University, putting something banana or something like jackfruit, all related. There are food tech startups are coming in the horticulture produce, and they are trying to export. Large number of startups are there. Everywhere it is horticulture startups in all the areas. They are trying to make it is there. And we will try to put little more information horticulture related also. We can connect with horticultural IAHR and others. Somebody asked, many agri graduates don't want to farmer or involved in agri related activity. Can give you a reliable. No, it is not necessarily agri graduates need to be the farmer. If somebody interested, they let them scientists or let them agriculture officers, that's fine. Today, if you see large number of successful agri startups or agri entrepreneurs, they are coming from other streams, from IITs, IIMs, or engineering colleges, or even diploma holders. That's why if somebody has the interest, let them start the enterprise, because once they are starting enterprise, they need to have the passion and enthusiasm to something. Otherwise, it is not necessarily only agriculture graduates need to start the business. And if you are doing is fine, somebody can do better. Otherwise, others will come. Maybe coming days, agriculture may be the one of the important sector, because globally, every 8th startup is coming from India. Large number of opportunities, lot of scope is there in Indian agriculture. And because there are millions of farmers to be supported, and we need to feed large number of global population, agriculture sector has the great scope. If whomever likes, let them come. Agriculture graduates not want to be agripreneurs, that's fine, because many of the agriculture graduates teaching, it is not for the entrepreneurship we are teaching. We are teaching for getting the job actually in the agriculture universities. Once the mindset changes from the universities, we teach more on entrepreneurship related opportunities, then they slowly they will change. It takes some more time. Some more question on Startups nowadays concentrate mainly on end product and soon, but not production related. Yeah, that's right. Some extent, many of them go for 60% of our agri startups goes for the supply chain management because they are the business people. They want to see where they can make the business, where they can make the profit. That's fine. At least let them make end products become better because farmers alone or farmer producer organization alone, they are unable to process all the value or brand it or sell it. Majority of them concentrating on this area where it is not much attended by the farmers and other stakeholders, then it is fine, absolutely fine. Wherever there is opportunity, let them do it because agri startups, they need to do the business, they need to survey, and that's fine actually. And thank you very much for all the participants.